Clemson 21-6 over Virginia. Stadlin kicks off, and Ray Williams with the football. He gets caught from behind, and he's down at the 15-yard line. So the Tigers will take over from there.
Virginia's special teams work has been excellent today, especially on the kickoff, doing a nice job.
Farentholt and Perkins making the tackle for Virginia.
Well,
and so Clemson with 184 yards total offense in that first half puts it in play to start the second half. Flowers and Mack in the backfield. Epley, number 14. Mack, the ball carrier, had a little trouble with the handoff, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. What his line could get for him, actually, is Kilgannon making the stop.
Clemson has been most effective offensively this year when they've come out and tried everything. The option, the short pass, running inside and outside. They did that early in this game, and they dominated offensively. They went away from it a little bit in the second quarter, and now let's see what they do here in the third quarter.
Butler comes to the near side. Williams is to the far side. Flowers and Mack, again, your running backs. On the 2nd and 8, that's Flowers. Good defensive coverage that time, and it was Callender, number 44, who is really one of the big keys of that defense, especially on short yardage situations.
Callender is a converted fullback, and he was a good fullback. Started the first 2 games last year at fullback, injured a knee, went out for the season. They put him there because they needed a quality athlete at the defensive end position, not because he was a defensive end. They made him into a defensive end, and he's played very well. Number 44, that's a fullback's number, not a defensive end's number.
Smith and Rulack, the wide receivers. Flowers now with 31 yards on the carry. Epley is off on the delay. We've got a penalty flag. Flowers trying to make his way, does not get close to the first down. He'd have to get to the 25 as Charles McDaniel makes the stop. Flowers is tied with Antonio Rice of Virginia in the ACC best individual marks for non-scoring runs, both with 47-yard runs this year.
I find it interesting that Clemson, the last 2 plays, ran to the weak side of the Virginia defense. They label their defensive ends wide side or quick side. That's a holding penalty. It's declined, obviously. We're going to have a punt by Clemson. Virginia plays wide side of the field and short side of the field, strong and weak, and we'll talk about that more later.
Hatcher, whose first punt in this ball game soared of 49 yards, and he gets back to kick. Farentholt waits for another beautiful hang time. Well, this guy's a first-round draft choice. Taking it to the 30-yard line, Farentholt makes it up to the 36, and he has done as about as well as you can with hang time like that.
He does everything well. I mean, Hatcher could punt for me any day of the week, and you're right. He's liable to be a number 1 pick. He punts as well in college as anybody I've seen since Ray Guy of Oakland.
Jeff Wells making the tackle. So Virginia, the defense holding on the first series for Clemson here in the third quarter. Looks like it might be a key quarter. Clemson leading 21-6, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Shoots. Good defensive positioning, and the receiver actually had to take it away from Rob McSwain. Billy Smith turned defender that time.
Well, let's take a look at this. You've heard many times the commentators say the offensive player has to become a defensive player. This pass actually looks like it's thrown to the defender, and that's the tip-off. Look, he looks like he's the receiver, and in fact is, until Smith comes up over the top and drags it away. That's McSwain, Rod McSwain, and great defense by Clemson. And that was the first.
Now 11 for 20 for 112 yards, 2 costly interceptions. 13-13 remaining third quarter. Handoff goes to Morris. Make it Jenkins out of that fullback spot. Number 28, Derek Jenkins, and he's stopped by Edgar Pickett. First time we've heard Pickett's name in this ball game.
Defensive ends for Clemson were a problem early in the year. Look how they hold hands. Milton is holding hands with the defensive back there, and I think that's important for defensive players because it is an emotional thing, and you have to feel like there's a bond or a tie between you.
39 at the 38. Shoots. Good protection. And it looked like someone went the wrong way. It was intended for Billy Griggs, number 87, his tight end, and he was in the open.
Well, he was hit. He was hit. There's a tangle up here in the defensive secondary. Let's take a look at this and see if Walls is involved in it. Well, he's going to go on the blitz. But as he throws the ball, he shoots, throws the ball. That's good pressure by Clemson. They've had good pressure the whole game. But on that play, it looked like it might have been pass interference. Referee did not call it.
Jeff Walker is standing back at his own 24-yard line, ready to punt. And you saw Billy Davis close to being blocked. Davis takes it at the 23. And he's hit hard immediately by number 99, Edgar Davis. With the score, Clemson 21, Virginia 6. We'll pause now. Boyer to the far side, Rulak to the near side. Dunn and Riggs also in the lineup, with the lone remaining back is Kevin Mack. Goes to Mack off tackle. On the 1st and 10 play, nice yardage. Up to the 33-yard line before Ricky Callender makes the stop.
We talked about Virginia's defense as you take a look at Edgar Pickett on the bench there. We talked about Virginia's defense. They'll play the weak side to the short side of the field. Usually you have 11 men. They'll play 5 to the short side or weak side and 6 to the other side.
Mack, the single running back, has 88 yards on 8 carries in this ball game. Once again, somehow found a seam in that line. Good lateral movement for a power-driving fullback. And Charles McDaniel, the linebacker, finally making the tackle, but not after the first down over the 40-yard line.
Let's watch the linebackers here. Their responsibility in running play is to come up and meet the play. And they do that. But see number 37, he gets caught there and turned outside by the offensive tackle. And that's what causes the gain. You have to meet him and keep your leverage head up, not get turned.
Farr with a fine block. Mack now with 96 yards, and we still have 11:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Epley over to Boyer. What a sidestep, 1st down yardage and more. Sheldon Boyer showed us that he might be a freshman in varsity experience, but he certainly has a lot of experience in avoiding defensive backs.
I want you to watch one player. Okay, this is a very well-conceived play as they get the defense going the other way. Now watch near the end of this play. This is terrible tackling by Virginia. Okay, right here, number 25 is Lewis. He needs to hold him. He doesn't get him. Watch 77 and watch his arms as he comes in right here. See number 77, he never put his arms out. Never tried to wrap him up. Has to do it. That's Kilgannon.
Epley is tossed for 73 yards. Flowers on the carry for a gain of 2. On the 1st and 10 from the 41, Ray Daly making the stop from the cornerback spot.
Especially in the open field, getting back to that wrapping up. There is no defense in the country that doesn't teach wrapping your arms. I mean, obviously, they're hanging there. You got to use them for something. On defense, the thing is to do, you've got to hit. And, of course, you use your trunk and your shoulders to make the hit, but you have to wrap up an offensive player. Great offensive players will kill you if you don't drag them down.
Is that why you hear about shoulder injuries with linebackers?
The linebackers get lots of injuries because they're getting hit everywhere and hitting everywhere. 2nd
and 8 at the 39. Epley's got his man. Done. 10-5. 1-yard line and out of bounds. He's hit there by Farron Holt. J.D. Dunn has come up with some important catches in his career. And Kevin Mack with a very fine block.
Let's take a look at Epley here. He does get a block on the corner from Mack, who knocks down the defensive player, but he gets right up and is about to pressure Epley. It's just a perfect pass. As Dunn comes all the way across the field, he throws it between 3 defenders, and then it's just a race to the end zone.
Epley is now tossed for 111 yards. He's 6 out of 7 through the air. 1 yard to go for the touchdown. Flowers trips, but does he get in? Looked like he might have dragged the knees. Ricky Callender making the stop. Callender had 2 key stands inside the 5-yard line last week against Maryland.
They did a great job. 2nd and 4 Maryland had for a touchdown, and Virginia stopped them dead and took the ball over. They played extremely well.
He also intercepted a pass of the Virginia 17-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down, still the 1 yard to go for Clemson with 9:42 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Clemson leading 21-6. Flowers, touchdown. Beautiful hole on the left side of that offensive line. Getting up off the pile is Cheatham and Cruz. We also had a good tight end block.
Key to any goal line offense is to cut off the pursuit if you're going to go off tackle. You've got to clamp down on the defensive line and let your running back cut off of that and then kick out the outside man and create just a small hole, especially when you only have a yard to go. Clemson did that.
Hollings only missed one of these in his career. Peretti, the hold out of a fine snap. Scott Williams is a very fine snapper, and he puts the ball. The timing of those three have to go together. The kick is up and through the uprights with 9:33 remaining in the third quarter. Clemson 28 and Virginia 6. We'll be back with USA's College Football 83 after this. Donald Igwebuike to kick off, and Malcolm Pittman along with Kevin Ferguson standing inside their own end zone. There you saw the two up men on our picture, but those are the players that anticipate Igwebuike's kickoff.
Most points given up by Virginia this year was 30 points to Duke. Duke's got that high-powered offense with Bennett in the controls. So Clemson opened it up against a pretty good defense, and they held Azias in Maryland to 23 points last week.
So the man who holds the record right now this year for the longest field goal in the ACC, Igwebuike, and they decide to run it out. And you can see why. Boyer, I should say Perry Williams, making the stop on the play. Pittman, number 3, the ball carrier.
Pittman had a 91-yarder, I said earlier, against Maryland. That was a pretty, he looked a little hesitant, but once he started, he took off and got it up over the 20 to the 26-yard line. It's a good return.
So let's see what the tactics now of Virginia will be. 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. 78,500 here at Memorial Stadium. Rice on a carry. It's McSwain and Ken Brown making the tackle. Rice able to take advantage of some nice openings.
Let's watch this here as the Virginia man tries to block on Brown, but he does a good job with his hands, and a real good job with his hands. And defensively, that's what you want to do. You want to hold off the offensive player with leverage. He did that very well. 2nd and 1 now. It's Rice again. And the second surge, he makes it. Looks like it's going to be a first down. Steve Berlin and Henry Walls. Walls securing him on the second try. Berlin on the first hit. But he gets that first down. Ball placement at the 38-yard line. Cavaliers need some points. Plenty of time in this game. 8:40. They have to get some points, get back into it. They trail by 22.
Rice with 54 yards in 10 carries today. What a play by Steve Berlin. He lost the tackle in the last play, and he said, it's not going to happen to me once again. The man from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, is only 6'5", 242 pounds, a sophomore. Steve Berlin, number 76.
The risk always when you're trying to run power to one side, don't forget about the backside. You've got to seal that off first. They let Berlin run loose, and he was right in the middle of the play.
2nd and 15 now for Schutz and his Cavaliers at the 33. Schutz gets the pressure from Devane. It's a penalty flag in tight. Ray Brown giving some pressure as well, tipping the ball. Schutz has the longest scoring play in the ACC this year. 80-yard pass to Quentin Walker, who has since been injured. And it looks like it might take that again today to get him on the board. As a holding call will march it back on the Cavaliers.
It's a nice play by Ray Brown. He almost intercepted that ball right in the middle. It was a screen pass, and Clemson, at this point in the game, Clemson knows they're going to try screen and draw.
Holding penalty against Virginia declined.
Let's take a look at number 51 there with his hands all over Devane. And you're allowed to push as long as you don't get your hands. And let's take a look at Brown here if we can. Whoop, a little bit early. You can use those hands. You can't get them outside the plane of your shoulders. And that's what happened on that play.
It was already a 2nd and 15. They declined the 15-yarders for a 3rd and 15. Throws behind the intended receiver, Billy Smith. With his helmet off, Mr. William Perry.
We're at the point now, Art, where it's just a matter of everyone in the stadium knows what Virginia has to do. Most significantly, Clemson knows what they have to do, and their defense is geared to it. It's going to be tough for the Cavaliers from here on in.
Davis, you see him there. Waiting for Walker's punt. He's had 2 punts, averaging 33.5 yards a punt. Perry triple teamed on that play and still got back there to force the punting situation. Davis makes it up to the 24-yard line. So with 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to be played here in the third quarter, it's Clemson 28, Virginia 6. At the 24. Epley, the quarterback. Stacy Driver, Braxton Williams, the running backs. But Epley goes to throw. Lobbing one for Boyer. Oh, he almost had it stretched out. Had beaten Bob Sweeney and just couldn't reach the ball.
That play was golden all the way. The pass was just a little bit long and inside. Maybe not even too long, just inside a little bit.
Nice play fake, too, to set it up to kind of freeze the linebackers in the secondary.
The worst position you could be in defensively is 28-6 first down. You don't know what's going to happen.
Alley to the near side, and Charleston goes to the far side. It'll be a 2nd and 10 now with Driver and Braxton Williams, the running backs. Williams, the closest to the quarterback, Epley, goes to Driver. Driver hit straight on the first hit, but once again, no arms around the ball carrier, and it took Ricky Callender's tackle to bring him down.
I really shouldn't forget to mention a lot of second effort by, well, Driver right there, Mac. I mean, these guys, it's not only that Virginia's not wrapping their arms around the Clemson backs. The Clemson backs are excellent backs. It's a combination of both. There's been some great running by the Tigers today, too.
Driver has 14 yards and 4 carries. Brulac jumping off on the near side, so the penalty flag will go up. He doesn't bother to catch the ball. Correction, it's Boyer, number 3 on the near side, who jumped. Brulac was on the far side.
It was interesting how long it took the official to throw that flag. It happened right in front of him, and it was about 3 counts before he threw the flag.
Sometimes the more obvious are harder to.
Maybe he said first, I can't believe that happened right in front of me, and then threw the flag.
Kevin Mack coming back in at fullback. Clemson has been penalized 65 yards in this ball game. They had a huge number of penalties in the first half, but were able to survive it on the scoreboard. Charleston to the far side, and Alley comes to the near side. Alley, the leading returning receiver, but some very effective work by Ray Williams and Terrence Rulac have cut down his playing time. We've got a timeout, Clemson, with 6:58 remaining here in the third quarter. Clemson leading at 28-6 over Virginia.
All right, girls, let's hear it. Y'all can do it.
A lot of Pat. You know, we were talking about having a week off, or whether it hurt the team. I think it hurt the fans.
They're not quite as up for this.
No, I mean, it hurt them. They had nothing to do last weekend. I shouldn't say nothing, but of course we're here every week, and to have a week off here and Clemson's team not even playing, at least if they're on the road, they can follow. That must really, after they get into the season, must bother them some when the week is off and they really don't have a team to follow.
Well, if you have 42,000 fans too at a fine Tiger-Rama the night before, maybe they're a little washed out. They've got some great football fans here in Clemson. I don't know as I've seen any finer program put together, not only for the football team itself, but also for the fans for their university. Alley and Charleston are the wide receivers, and Epley looks like he wants to go to him. Out of the backfield to Mack. Oh, he stepped over him. Ray Daly was anticipating Mack to put his head down and bull through him, and he went right over it.
Well, let's take a look at this. This is a great call by Clemson. It's a screen pass, obviously. Now, Callender makes a nice play here as he forces it inside, but see, you got to keep your head up. You can't make a tackle and put your head down and not use your arms, and he dove at his feet. Mack anticipated and jumped over him. Got to keep your feet.
Epley now with 118 yards on 7 completions. Stacy Driver with openings. Good leg power. That's why, what an appropriate name, Driver, on that play. Charles McDaniel, number 30, the linebacker, and then Lewis Howard finally secured him. 6:20 remaining third quarter, Kevin.
Let's take a look at the block on the corner here. As driver cuts inside right there, number 8 wiped out and keeps going. And that's been the story all day.
Watch those legs.
In position to make the hit, overruns it just a little bit. Lewis, another arm tackle, and then finally the pursuit catches up.
32 yards for Driver on 5 carries. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Driver once again. Well, the line is blowing him away. A particularly nice line block that time by Steve Reese, number 63 from Thompson, Georgia. Ricky Callender making the tackle on Driver, putting him out of bounds, and it was just a line surge is about the yardage he got.
Football's an emotional game. When the game is close, emotions run high, you play better, you're more in tune to the game, especially defensively. As the score gets out of hand, 28-6, you wear down, not only physically, but emotionally.
Brulac to the far side, Boyer to the near side. Driver out on the pattern, and he goes to him at the 40-yard line. Does not quite get to the first down before he's got the hand on the jersey of Charles McDaniel, the linebacker. They had everybody in the pattern that time. The tight end coming in and cutting across, and Driver then filled the area where the tight end had cleared.
Clemson plays better offensively when they do more things. It seemed that against Georgia, against Boston College, they got conservative. They handed the ball up, they fumbled it. They didn't try to do all the things that they're doing today. Throw short, throw long, the screens and draw. And I think a quarterback, when he has more tools, plays better. And that seems to be what's happening to Epley today. After
Epley had 129 yards through the air against Tech, he already has 124, and it could be more. Flowers! Touchdown! That brought the fans out of their seats. What a beautiful play. So it's no wonder that Bob Pauling is the ACC leader in points scored, as he gets a lot of opportunities right now. Flowers out of that wing back, just made a nice, beautiful, soft-fingered touch. The kick is up by Pauling, and it's another one. 5:03 remaining to be played here in the third quarter. Clemson 35-6.
Clemson is a very conservative team offensively. You don't expect this type of thing, third and short yardage. Obviously, Virginia in a goal line defense, trailing the play all the way. Flowers comes out of the backfield, and there's no way you can expect them to defense that. Clemson may show that play once in a very, very great while. Virginia trying to stop them.
Stacy Driver there, too, made a beautiful play fake on the handoff portion of the fake.
Short yardage, the defense is on their toes, coming forward, and if you go in the other direction, that's the result. A good catch by Flowers, but hey, he was just running out there for a Sunday stroll.
Malcolm Pittman, number 3, on the near side, and Ferguson on the far side, looking for Igwebuike's kickoff. 35-6, Clemson now leading. That drive went 76 yards in only 7 plays. Flowers' 3rd touchdown of the day. What a game like this can do for a quarterback like Epley, too, with 2 fine games in a row. So Donald comes forward. Looks like a returnable. Ferguson having some problems with the handle, and then he gets hit hard at the 19-yard line. Perry Williams is a cornerback by regular occupation.
A lot of quarterbacks and cornerbacks out there on kick teams. I don't know why that is.
First and 10 for the Cavaliers at the 14-yard line. And the Clemson defenders becoming the cheerleaders now. Jimmy Scott, number 76, waving to his fans. Shoots can't. There's so much noise down on the gridiron. You notice there he's talking to the official. The official's explaining to him, I think, that this could be a big problem in the future. How are we going to do it now so that your players can hear the checkoff?
Well, the first thing you do is ignore it. As soon as you show the fans that they're bothering you, they're just going to scream louder. Let's see if they do when he comes up to the line of
And
scrimmage.
believe
again.
me, down on the field here at Death Valley, it is so reverberating. The sound just bouncing off inside that valley. Sometimes you just have to run a play to silence him. Shoots. And he goes to Petty. Devane is over there to make the tackle on a nice gain. 4:47 remaining here in the third quarter. Virginia really needs points desperately now. They're behind 35-6. And on the 1st and 10 play, it comes up a yard shy of that first down.
This is George Welsh, and of course Welsh is worried, but he knows he's got a young team, and he knows that how they perform for the rest of this game is going to mean a lot to him for the next part of the year.
Shoots on 13 completions, has 124 yards. Well, Antonio Rice trying to get some running room, but Ray Brown just wouldn't let him go.
Well, that's a great effort there by the running back. He was caught behind the line, short of the first down, and he struggled and made it. And as George says, the score really is not the score is not all that important here. They've obviously going to have to go something to win this game. But what's important here is that as young kids get more confidence and that they feel good about themselves when they leave Clemson.
Good enough for the first down, but look what happens. William Perry and Tyrone Davis making the stop. This is Art Ekman with Kevin Kiley from Memorial Stadium in Clemson. We're in the third quarter with the score. Clemson 35, Virginia 6. Jenkins, the ball carrier. He was hit first by Keith Williams, and then Chucky Richardson finally secured him.
It's yet another draw play by Virginia, and it picked up about what it should have picked up, about 2 or 3 yards. Clemson had it defensed very well. They're looking draw screen, that little flare pass they're looking for, and obviously they're looking downfield with Virginia down by 29 points.
3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter now on a 3rd and 14 from the 23. Clemson defense is fired up. They want that football back. Almost too fired up. Perry jumping, but evidently got back. Nice pass completion. First down yardage at the 40-yard line. It was Billy Smith making the catch. He was pushed out of bounds by Tyrone Davis.
Billy Smith is an excellent receiver, but I'm impressed with Schutz too. He's done a nice job today, and this pass under pressure is right on the money to Smith, and Clemson, obviously with 3 people there, is expecting it. They get the first down anyway.
Bob Olderman, the right guard, pulling out too to pick up a blitz situation. Olderman from Atlanta, Georgia, 6'5", 250, moved very quickly on the block. 1st and 10 at the 41. Shoots, holds back on a pass, penalty flag, goes long. He's got a man out there. It's complete, but let's check the flags. It will be a touchdown unless there's a holding call or a call against Virginia. Billy Smith got the pass reception. And it's Randy Brookshire that's not too happy with the call back there. Brookshire, the right tackle on the offensive line.
Face mask Clemson is 1 penalty. I don't know that there's... That's it.
It's a touchdown. The face mask on Clemson.
Look at Huddleston, number 51. You'd think that Virginia was right in this game, and of course they're not. They've got 12 points, but they're psyched up. Hey, we scored a touchdown on Clemson. They ought to be. Last 2 years, they didn't get any points at all.
George Welch, in his 2nd full year of coaching Virginia, and just now his recruits and his those that he's persuaded to come to the school are starting to gain the experience and the timing necessary to put things together. Stavlin for the extra point try. It is up, and it is good.
Let's take a look at Smith here. Now remember, as you're looking at this, that Schutz gets in trouble. Now watch what Smith does. He stops running the pattern. He'll go to the post. Watch him slow down. Arrington is guarding him. Now he sees Schutz. He thinks Schutz is in trouble. He slows down. He says, hey, there he is. I better take off. And he sees the ball coming. Now Arrington quit when Smith did, but Smith put on the burners, and he goes in for a touchdown.
Smith with a tremendous move and a nice pass too by Schutz. When you got a receiver slowing down, sometimes it's very difficult upstairs to put it out there at the right
45
place.
yards between the numbers is great.
The 10 is located between Serene Hall.
Look at this. The entire team over there, the specialty team over there talking to George. And he's telling him, this game's not over yet. Let's go after him. We've got a quarter and a little bit to go.
There was a penalty flag on the extra point, and it looked like a personal foul call against Clemson. We'll check it on the kickoff. 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. It's Clemson 35-13 over Virginia, but Virginia getting their first touchdown of the afternoon. 6 plays, 86 yards, capped off by the 59-yard touchdown pass by Schutz to Billy Smith. Schutz now with 200 yards through the air.
That's James Robinson. Obviously a shoulder injury right up in the area where you might separate a shoulder for Clemson. He was a fellow that just walked off the field, number 83, a little while ago. 275 pounds. And yes, 275-pounders get hurt too.
Kenny Stadlin preparing to kick off, and of course Clemson is anticipating an onside kick with 2:43 remaining here in the quarter.
Field position would dictate an onside kick now, right? It's on the 40 now. With Virginia kicking off from the 40, why not bounce it along and see what you can get out of it? Now, an onside kick, there are a number of different ways to do this. Recently, they've started kicking those little floaters over the front line. Some people like to kick a line drive, try and hit one of the offensive linemen with the ball. Interesting that it appears that Clemson's got their good people, their skilled people up front, so they're expecting maybe an onside kick. And Virginia really doesn't lose anything by trying it. If they fall on it, they still have 70 yards.
It dawned on somebody you can't fair catch a kickoff. Those little floaters, you can't fair catch it, and you can wipe somebody out pretty good. Well, we've seen it very effective both ways, and with the penalty putting the ball on the Clemson 40-yard line with 2:43 remaining third quarter and down by as many points as Virginia is.
As soon as it goes 10 yards, it's live, whether anybody touches it or not. You don't have to touch a kickoff. So let's see what Virginia does.
Stadlin will come to the near side. He bounces it. Nice high bounce up into the air, but Clemson recovers. Great hands that time.
It did not go 10 yards. And
Willard got the recovery anyway. If you're an offensive man up near the front of the line, what do you have to do?
The fellow being kicked to? Or
that's right.
Well, if you're a big guy or a linebacker, they tell you to get out of the way of the ball if they kick it out of you and let the people behind you get it. Otherwise, you immediately fall on it. If you get your hands on it, you fall on it. Do not try to run with the ball. That was a great play there by the Clemson player who came into the crowd and caught it.
Peretti, the quarterback. Mack and Driver, the running backs, out of the eye. Peretti almost got wiped out and has to throw it down. It was intended, I guess, for Kelvin Mack, Callender, and Kilgannon on the rush on Anthony Peretti.
It's just tremendous pressure by Virginia. Seems like Peretti draws the defense. Look at Callender. He steps outside and he takes a shot at Peretti, messes up the timing of the play, and now Peretti picks somebody out, but he's hit by Kilgannon, and down he goes.
Wes Mann was the man back there trying to block. Charleston and Alley, your wide receivers. 2nd and 10 at the 37. Mack makes his way to the 40-yard line, a gain of 4. Scott Luggerman making the stop. He's from Sterling, Virginia, a sophomore.
What a day Kevin Mack has had. Luggerman with a good tackle on that play. He hit Mack from the backside and dropped him immediately.
Mack now 1 yard shy of a 100-yard game. He's already established his finest game of the year with 99 yards.
3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
Boyer to the near side, and that's the direction Peretti's going. Good pitch, and it was a nice block, I think, by Boyer. Stacy Driver got the pitch. Farron Holton, Daly the tackles.
Clemson's known as a conservative offensive team. With a lead like that, you wouldn't think that they would run the option. Look at this pitch out. It's almost forward. Very close to being forward. And throwing the ball around like this, is a little bit of out of character for Danny Ford's Clemson offensive team.
Driver, 44 yards in the ball game. You see him there, number 21 from Griffin, Georgia. Charleston and Alley, your wide receivers, on a 1st and 10 at midfield. Peretti had him for lots of yardage, Charleston, if he'd led the receiver, because he had a terrific angle on that slant.
Interesting, too, the way that play developed. Peretti never looked at that receiver. He faked to the right and turned his back to the receiver, and then without looking, turned around and winged it across the field. Sometimes those plays go for touchdowns in the opposite direction.
2nd and 10 at the 50. Rulak to the near side. Peretti holds on to the football. And he takes it for the 1st down before Bart Fairmanholt catches up with him.
This is another case where the Clemson offense should have been stopped. Peretti right there should have gone down at the corner. A man had his hand on him, but he turns upfield. A nice run. Kilgannon had a shot at him. Virginia has to keep their feet on defense. Easier said than done, but they need to string it out, stay on their feet.
Credit Andy Cheatham with a fine block on that last play. Peretti now has rushed 3 times for 11 yards. Stacy Driver shakes off a tackler and gets inside the 30-yard line. 51 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clemson 35-13 continues to move the ball on the Cavs.
Callender a shot at Driver on that play, and I've talked about using your arms and wrapping them up. That's all he used on that particular play. He tried to tackle Driver high. The running backs today lift a lot of weights. They're very strong up in the shoulder area.
Kevin, I'd like to reemphasize something you said earlier, too, that some fans just tuning in might not have caught, and that we've talked a lot about people just arm tackling and people not using their arms and letting their runners bounce off. But I think you were very right in the fact that you brought out that the running backs for Clemson have had a lot to do with it, and they've been shifty, they've been powerful, they've been hitting the hole quickly, and we've got a turnover with a chain man. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a chain man trip over his own chain. I've seen him trip other people up, but Driver now with 53 yards on 8 carries.
There's another point we should make that's related to that. The defense of Virginia is a rebuilt defense, and they've moved a lot of offensive players into that defense because they were quality athletes. It takes years to learn how to play defense, get in the right hitting position, and I think that may be affecting Virginia, too. They just simply have played offense and not defense.
Braxton Williams, the fullback, set up only 2 yards behind Peretti. He blocks for Stacy Driver, who just hits the middle of the line. Clemson this year has played some musical tailbacks. They started out the year with Terrence Flagler, who had 139 yards against Western Carolina. They came back with Driver starting against Boston College. He had a very difficult game, and then Kevin Mack had 2 90-yard-plus games. Kenny Flowers had 124 against Tech, and we've seen some outstanding running again from the fullback spot in Mack in this ball game. Rolack and Charleston, the wide receivers. Peretti going for his tight end, Dunn. Reaching up into the air, though, is number 23. He's not on the roster.
Play action here. We don't have a number on 23, but this ball is in the air a little bit too long. See how it slides a little bit in the air and floats? If it's just a little bit higher, we've got a completion and a touchdown as the defense was trailing. But that's good play there, number 23. We don't have a name on him. We'll try and pick it up for you later.
2nd down, 10 from the 26-yard line. Peretti is 0 for 3 through the air. Stacy Driver, though, has been effective, and he cuts inside just at the right time to get a little extra yardage. Inside the 20-yard line to the 17. Bart Fairmanholt forced to make the tackle from the secondary spot. With the score, Clemson 35, Virginia 13. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be back with USA's College Football 83 after this. to 13, Clemson over Virginia. Now, Virginia's been known for being a second-half team this year. In fact, they've outscored opponents 63-35 in the second half. But previous to this game, they've allowed only 1 touchdown in the 3rd quarter, only 10 points. Clemson on a 3rd and 1. Kenny Flowers.
Well, that's going to be close. I don't believe he made it.
Clemson before that play, has 126 yards rushing in a ball game, compared with, 226, compared with 94 for Virginia.
It's going to be a 4th down here for Clemson. Virginia held Maryland last week. Clemson's going to go for it.
Peretti, the quarterback. That's quick in motion. Flowers leaps through the air to get the first down inside the 15. Russ Swan came up to make the stop. Swan, a sophomore linebacker. That's 41 yards for Flowers in 14 carries.
Bad enough the kid can run, but he can jump too. That's what Virginia's defense is saying. They had the play stopped, and Flowers just went over the top.
Mack and Flowers, the running backs, out of the eye. Boyer and Rulak, the wide receivers. That's Flowers battling his way close to the 10-yard line. Kenny Flowers from Daytona Beach, a redshirt sophomore.
Not all fullbacks run for big yardage like Mack. There's a lot of work in this position. Watch this block as he turns upfield, and he gets his shoulder in there. That's good defense by the Virginia player. Maybe could have stuffed it a little closer to the line. McDaniel Matheson is the player that met it. He's a right tackle on defense.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, the difficult thing about blocking from a fullback spot, you are on the run, and the fire out on your block sometimes can be rather confusing if there's wind to actually lower the shoulder. It takes a good fullback to be able to do that. A fumble on the play.
Peretti fumbled the snap, and the Cavaliers have it.
We now pick up action in the 4th quarter. Antonio Rice, Steve Morris, and a new quarterback in the ball game. Mikowski. Jameson and Williams are making the stop on Antonio Rice.
Cavaliers down 22 points in this game. You don't want to throw on every down. You know, George is in a spot, but truly he's been in this spot before. All the years at Navy, he never had great personnel. He won on toughness and intelligence, and you can bet he's got a plan. He's not giving up. They have to go deep, but in order to go deep, Virginia has to establish something. I'm a little surprised that they replaced Schutz, because Schutz has had really a great day throwing the ball under pressure. His stats aren't all that good, but he's made some nice throws. Let's see here what Mikowski can do.
Rice leaving the ball game, 12 carries, 53 yards, limping off under his own power. Mikowski is only a freshman, 6'2", 183 pounds. On the rollout, he's a lot more mobile than the other quarterback, and he gets a nice pass away, and it's caught complete to Nick Merrick out of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Vandal Arrington making the stop on the receiver, but not after the first down.
Let's take a look at Merrick. This guy's an excellent receiver, has been for years at Virginia. He just runs a straight fly pattern, breaks it off, and this ball is thrown a little bit behind him and high. He makes the catch, brings it down under pressure.
Good hands. He got the starting spot when Quentin Walker was injured. 1st and 10 at the 34. That's what I spoke about, mobility. They like his mobility, and he holds on to it, goes out of bounds, makes a potential loss into a gain. A gain of 3 yards. Perry on the pursuit along with Edgar Pickett.
Well, Mikowski there. His feet do your stuff, because he's running. He's got about 3 bulls chasing him, and he didn't want to be caught. He gets out of bounds. That's good. With 9:50 to go, they stop the clock, which they'll have to do, and picked up a yard or 2.
Sanford and Wells into the defensive line now for Clemson. Danny Ford putting quite a few people in there. Perry still the nose guard. 2nd and 8 at the 36 for the Cavaliers. Mikowski hands off. Back into the ball game, Antonio Rice, and Rice makes his way for the first down. Rod McSwain, the tackle.
Well, I said they'd have to run the ball, and they do. And a lot of people say you're behind. Why don't you just throw on every down? If you throw on every down, you're going to lose possession. Now, with 9:44 to go, they have time to score. Remember, there's 2-point conversions. They only need 22 points. If they can get a 2-point conversion, they need 3 touchdowns. And believe it or not, 9 minutes is enough time.
9:44 remaining in the ball game. 1st and 10 at the Clemson 49-yard line. Mikowski hands to the quick man, straight up the middle. Ball pops loose after he falls down after Keith Williams made the grab. On the carry, Steve Morris, the fullback from Mobile, Alabama. Former linebacker when he came out of Mobile. 5'11", 208-pound junior. Starting defensive end last year, Steve Morris. They moved him over at springtime, and because he was such an excellent blocker. By the way, he's a walk-on. 2nd and 4. They go up the middle once again. Looks like they've got the first down before Steve Berlin puts the grasp on the ball carrier.
Solid running by Virginia. Another point is to remember the defense shows the offense. In other words, the defense lines up and the offense takes what they give them. If the defense of Clemson gives Virginia running plays, well, then they're going to have to take them. If they shut out just by alignment, they'll shut down passing before the ball is snapped. That's why Virginia may be running the ball.
Okay, we've got a 3rd and 1 still. They didn't quite make it. Quarterback in the rollout. He wants the first down. Slips in between 2 Clemson tacklers and goes out of bounds before Keith Williams once again in to make a tackle. Jemas and Wells on the chase as we see a quarterback running for his life.
Okay, you see the receiver there. Now he's clearing it out, and Mikowski's coming along, and he sees that as the defense goes back. Let's carry this. Watch number 57 Williams when he gets up. Well, we miss it. He points at Mikowski and he says, "Take that. Don't forget me. My name's Williams."
1st and 10 at the 31. Virginia trying to get some points on the board. That's Antonio Rice. He put a move on Arrington. Watson finally made the tackle. I don't know what Vandal was waiting for, because the blocker in front of him was waiting to spring the block, and Arrington was kind of one-on-one with his blocker instead of going for the ball carrier. But he got caught in a freeze anyway.
That's exactly right, Art. You picked that up. He stood there, and the blocker stood there. The blocker didn't try to block him, and Vandal didn't try to beat the block, and along came Howard Petty, and he tackled him.
Rice with 88 yards in the ball game on the ground. Virginia trailing 35-13. Trying to put it in the end zone on the delay. Oh, having some rough going, but he's still on his feet, and it's Steve Morris. Henry Walls finally securing him. William Perry also.
That's a terrific run by Morris. He was stopped in the backfield and kept his feet the whole time. They never did get him down.
Perry tried for him and slowed him up a bit.
Henry Walls calling defensive signals, just a freshman for Clemson.
Merrick is split to the far side. Mikowski rolling out, looking. Gets a push out of bounds at the 5-yard line. A hearty push from Roy Brown. Yeah. Ronald Watson also had something to do with it. 7 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the ball game.
If I was a quarterback, I'd always want to have number 1 because it's not a very good target. It's kind of thin. You don't have to worry about him taking pot shots at the number.
William Perry at the nose guard. Wells checks into the defensive line on the far side. 3rd and 3. That's Rice. Touchdown. So Rice has really earned that one. And the Virginia Cavalier blockers have earned that touchdown.
Well, Dombrowski and Huddleston and and Karen and everybody on the left there. There's a terrific run by Rice too, and well earned. And George is right. His team doesn't give up.
Goes right over Walls, number 55.
Here we go. Look at Rice. They teach you to keep your feet, keep driving as a running back, and you'll break clear. And that's exactly what Antonio did there. And down by as many points as Virginia is. That's a terrific drive with the backup quarterback in, just a freshman. Gone for 2.
Mikowski looking. Doesn't chance it, and he gets into the end zone. He's a slippery customer. He could have thrown the ball. He had a receiver open it several times who was coming back toward him. But he went for the safe thing as he goes in for the 2 points on the extra points, and it's 7:19 remaining in the ball game. Clemson 35, Virginia 21. We'll be back with USA's College Football 83 after this. Stadlin preparing to kick off again. Clemson once again anticipating an onside try. Puts a short high kick coming down, and it goes to Rulak. Rulak from the 18, veering back. And he gets caught at the 21. Let's go back and check that 2-point conversion, because it's quite a run by the young man, Mikowski.
Quarterback that can run gives you that extra dimension. I check his shoulder pads for a foreign substance. He seems to be sliding off of everything that hits him. But that's a good run, a gutsy run by the quarterback, because he put his head in there. He knew he had to get in for the 2 points, and he did just that.
Epley back at quarterback after Virginia goes 88 yards in 11 plays for the touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 20. Epley handing to the up man, Calvin Mack. And Kevin, a 3-year letterman, who's been the workhorse for the offense in this ball game, is stopped by Mark Wiley.
If you remember the long pass to Flowers for a touchdown on the 3rd and short, Virginia is doing that again defensively. They're putting everybody up on the line. They're coming. They have to make something happen. If they get another score, they will be back in this game. So look out for a play action here.
You got a speedster to the far side, Boyer. Alley is on the wing. Mack and Flowers the running back. Epley on the option. Ooh, the ball was tipped by the defender, but it alertly picked up by Flowers.
Again, this looks like another forward lateral. Now watch this. This is good defense at the corner by Virginia. Let's take a look at this. Epley, you won't be able to see it from this angle, but they force it. Here's the linebacker, McDaniel. He forces it, and that's, boy, that was close to being a forward lateral. They actually picked up yardage. See that?
Very close to the 1st down. And they have to bring the chains out to check.
They pick up yardage on that play as Flowers kicks it along and picks it up on the 31-yard line. It actually worked out well for Clemson.
6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to be played here in the 4th quarter, with Clemson 35. Virginia trying to get back into the ball game with 21 points on the board. Clemson with the football. Got the 1st down yardage. Ball placement just outside their 30-yard line. There you see the statistics of Mike Epley. 9 out of 11 through the air, 161 yards for this terrific athlete.
He did have a touchdown to Flowers.
Kevin Mack is the lone running back. Who else but Mack trying that second effort? Gets a gain of 5 yards on the play. Maybe a 4-yard gain when Callender finally hit him.
Kevin Mack has not played. He did not play in the Georgia Tech game and was off last week, so he's not played in 3 weeks, and the rest appears to have done him a world of good. He's ready to go.
Got that bruised knee in the Tech game early in the game. Mack with 109 yards in only 13 carries.
He's handed out a few bruises today.
Flowers and Mack, the running backs, out of the eye. Epley is forced to dish it off. Your trail man is cutting up so quickly, and Epley is not close to that line of scrimmage. Howard Lewis made the tackle.
Let's take a look at Mack as he throws a block inside. That's a good block on the linebacker, McDaniel, but Lewis on the outside is the one that made the play defensively. He held up the option, the pitch man, which was Epley, and or the quarterback, which was Epley, and he just didn't have anybody anywhere to go, so he pitched it out, and the defense was there. Nice play by Lewis. Good defense.
The quarterback is not really reacting to anyone coming down like a defensive end in this situation. They're going for the trail man. Epley goes to the air. Stacy Driver at the 42-yard line. Driver to the 48-yard line. Slams his fist out of the turf. He wanted more yardage after Howard Lewis had hit him. Nice play call.
With all the tackles that Virginia has missed in this game, and they've missed a few, that was a big tackle as Lewis gets Driver in the open field. A tremendous open field tackle to save a touchdown.
173 yards now through the air for Epley at quarterback. Alley and Boyer coming in at the wide receiverships. And they shuttle the play in. Dunn is the tight end. He'll be to the far side of the line. Braxton Williams is the running back, and Epley wants a timeout. 4:42 remaining here in the final period. Clemson holding on to a 35-21 edge. We'll be back with USA's College Football 83 after this. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line for the Tigers. A good shot of Epley at quarterback. Boyer in motion. And Epley goes over to Williams. Williams catching it behind the line of scrimmage. A nice spinning move. He's close to the 1st down. McDaniel making the tackle.
Hard to believe that Clemson would run these type of plays, and you have to hand it to Dan Ford. They've opened up their offense.
This is Art Eckman with Kevin Kiley from Memorial Stadium in Clemson. We're in the fourth quarter with 4:22 remaining. The score, Clemson 35, Virginia 21. Braxton Williams and Stacy Driver are the running backs. Epley calling the signals there, number 14. Driver on the carry. The young man from Griffin, Georgia, cuts in beautifully at the 40, 35, and down to the 31-yard line. Stacy Driver is having his best game. I don't know if it is yardage-wise yet, but he certainly has shown a lot of savvy in carrying the ball today. Logeman making the tackle, number 37 from Sterling, Virginia. Driver was 76 yards in this ball game. He's had better rushing days, but he certainly looks alert out there. Now it's on the 12th carry. Driver has 80 yards. This time, Braxton Williams is hit immediately by Edgar Davis, number 99 from Washington, D.C. He's only a freshman.
We're inside 4 minutes, and for Virginia to have any chance at all, they need to get the ball back without Clemson scoring almost immediately.
It'll be second, about 9 yards to go for the first down. 3:23 remaining in the ball game. Ray Williams split to the far side. Epley taking lots of time, pitches back to Stacy Driver, gets a nice block on the corner. Oh, what a block by Braxton Williams, and Driver moves down inside the 15-yard line. McDaniel, the linebacker, with help from Farrenholt to bring him down.
This is good blocking up front. Watch the seam that opens up. Well, that's Epley. Let's go back. Okay, there was a seam there. Driver. Now, Farrenholt and McDaniel should make that tackle dead in his tracks. It's Driver running hard, keeping his head down, picks up another 6-7 yards.
2 yards away from a century mark. 98 yards for Stacy Driver. This time the handoff goes to Williams on the 1st and 10. And Ron Mattis is there before the big game.
We said in the first game, really at the outset of the season, that Clemson's strength offensively was in their running backs. They have a series of great running backs. They have running backs that haven't even played yet this year that are outstanding, and I think we're seeing that there. We're seeing that today. That all their running backs have done a great job today.
One wide receiver, and that's Ray Williams. Get the double tight end. Look out! Epley's going to throw it, and he gets it to the tight end. Fumble in the end zone. He went over the end zone mark before the ball sprung loose. K.D. Dunn. Another touchdown reception for Dunn. We've got a penalty flag down, though, and it looks like it might be against Clemson, so the cannon going off prematurely.
Looks like illegal receiver downfield on a play action, which can happen. It was a fake sweep. One of the linemen got a little overzealous. They may have gone down. Let's take a look at it.
From the way Epley reacts to this play, Kevin, I'm not so sure that it wasn't a run play.
Well, he starts out and he's stopped, but see, Dunn has run a hook pattern. He's run a hook pattern. He's waiting, and there's a man at the top of the screen, I believe, was a lineman who, when he saw Epley go, may have thought, as you say, that he was going to run and took off downfield. But and there's Farr in the end zone picking the ball up, and he's an offensive guard, so I guess we can safely say it was an illegal receiver downfield.
Loss of down with the penalty, so it'll be 3rd and 13. Logeman going out with an injury.
Logeman's played very well. Had a lot of good hits in this game, and he's going to be missed.
Clemson's racked up 85 yards and 9 penalties. Rulack and Butler, the receivers now. Butler to the near side. Epley going straight back. He's going to get some pressure and lets it go just at the right time. Rulack, touchdown! Oh, what a catch! And Epley ended up on his derriere, getting the ball away just in time. Rulack doing a good job in beating Kevin Edwards to the end zone.
Some touchdowns are because of the pass, some because of the move. In this particular case, it's a great move by Rulack. Right about now, he's looking inside. He cuts outside, and Epley throws it the only place he can throw it, in the corner of the end zone. See, it's a little short, but Rulack had the man beat Edwards by a mile. Result, a touchdown for Clemson. Probably the ceiling touchdown for Virginia. Rulack had 2 touchdown receptions coming into this game. Pauling once again for the extra point as Clemson puts the clamps on Virginia here with 2 minutes still remaining in the 4th quarter. Clemson 42, Virginia 21. We'll be back with USA's College Football 83 after this.
We now pick up action in the fourth quarter. .58 seconds on the clock. Quick, the ball carrier.
Kilgannon made the stop there for Virginia. Cavaliers been on the field a long time, and they're getting tired. Played a good ball game. It's been a good game. Clemson a little better. As I said earlier in the broadcast, they know how to win. Virginia just learning how to win. And although that sounds simple, it means a lot when you come to Death Valley.
Clemson playing at Duke next weekend. That's where we'll be in Raleigh. Ken Brown. And Wilbur Bullard, the ball carrier. The young tailback getting his first carry. 17 seconds left.
Yet another tailback for the Tigers. And it just seems like it's an endless array. There's Bullard, number 8. He's even got a funny number, and these guys just keep coming.
Next week, Virginia taking on Virginia Military. And Clemson looking forward for the road trip to Duke on the final play of the game. And the youngsters race onto the field. We'll be at Raleigh, though, for the Duke-Clemson game. We wish Virginia all the luck in the world against Virginia Military Academy. As the horn sounds, stand the ball game with the score, Clemson 42, Virginia 21. We'll be back with USA's College Football 83 after this. Art Ekman and Kevin Kiley as the fans here on the homecoming weekend in Clemson, South Carolina, leave this fine facility with a 42-21 win over Virginia. Clemson, when the going got tough, they got tough.
They beat a very fine football team. Clemson showed something today that worked in the first game, and they went away from it. They came back. They showed that they can do a lot with their offense, many different things. When they did that to Virginia, they caused tremendous defensive problems. We hope we see Clemson do that for the rest of the year because offensively they're very strong when they show versatility.
Clemson 42-21 over Virginia. Next weekend on USA's College Football 83, we have a triple header of exciting collegiate matchups. First, last year's national champion Penn State tries to right themselves against the upstart Orangemen of Syracuse. The Sun Devils of Arizona State then collide with Southern Cal. And also, Clemson clashes with Duke in an ACC showdown. All next weekend on USA's College Football 83. The executive producer of the USA Network is Jim Rake. Programming supervisor Marty Brooks. Today's game was produced by Don McGuire, directed by Toby Jenkins. The production coordinator for USA Network is Barbara Travers. Associate producer Tim Rapley. This has been a sports presentation of the USA Network.